really quickly first.
Okay.
And that is a change of use form that we have before us for Crotchet Mountain / Scott Graff. Okay, so we've got the form before us and we have to determine if it's a change of use eligible. I mean, it's just, it doesn't need to be voted on, does it? I mean, not yet. We're gonna vote on it, but can you speak? Speak. You can't hear me?
So in May of 2016, I came before the board, and they approved us to have an office space there. If you look at the file, it has everything that any other building would have. We have our drainage, we have our conservation, we have our engineering, we have all the site plans, all the The only thing that, because it, in any kind of different use of it, we need to be able to say, look, we came in front of you and we asked for a change of use. There are 4 office spaces that are still going to be available in there, but there will also be 4 classrooms. There's an artistic center that we're trying to open up on August 15th. So when talking with everybody in Dari and we're talking with other people, they've all said, yeah, you're not changing anything to do with the site plan. It's the exact same site plan, so it's just a change of use. So that's really why I'm happy to comment on it for a second. But the drainage, the curb cuts, the building is all exactly the same.
You have 912 feet of playground space that I'm assuming wasn't there for your offices.
Right, but that's impervious surface that is basically, we say it's a playground, it's a fenced interior. If I read your regulations, you don't really have any oversight for a playground, and you really don't need to. I mean, it has to meet all the state regulations, which is 7 feet away from any obstruction with a fence. So we're not even to the point where we can bring that forward here. We're still talking to the state. Artistic center, there are regulations that we have to go for. Really, in this meeting, all we're trying to say is that change of uses. There's going to be an office building. Now we have an office building, and we have children that are going to be in the building for various things. If you look at it, they have consultations in the office. They have instruction forms, things like that. It's the same parking lot, same 24 spaces, same everything that we got approved for the office space. Nothing is changing with the site.
So the playground is not going to be on the parking lot.
No, it's actually purchased a 3/4 of an acre next door, and the playground will be put off of that. It won't even be on the spot.
That's what I was looking for, is to find out what that was about.
No impact at all on what we have.
Questions?
There's no medical facilities per se on this property.
As from ages 2 to 12, we do have a representative that have a question from ages 2 to 12. They take care of some of the children that come out of school that want to play film and pass them there. And they also take in the 2-year-olds and try to teach them life skills and that sort of thing. But they're like, correct. That's what essentially, I mean, we all should be very grateful. I mean, this area, the closest one from Vienna, we have to take a child to conference. I reiterate, we're not changing the site plan at all. We're built exactly how we built it. Handicap accessible ramps, parking spaces.
How many students do you anticipate having inside this building at any one time?
Hi, my name is David Johnson. Thank you for the time. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Probably about around 20 or so children, I think, we would be able to serve. The way service works, children are diagnosed, they receive doctor's diagnosis, and then they're for so many hours of service. So that number will stay around that point. So it'll be different children. More children down here, and at that time, the staff.
Do you plan on putting in extra restrooms, or you haven't seen the original site plan?
Well, the site plan doesn't show you what you have in the interior anyway. Site plan just gave you impact of the impervious surface. They designed it, we have 4 bathrooms inside of there.
Just curious, just wanted to make sure. You got 20 kids.
2 on each floor.
Yeah.
So they have that. Yeah. Observation windows, I'd love to have everybody come in and see it and check out how long these things work. We have observation windows from one room to the next. It's a specific design.
Questions?
I guess my concern is you just said it's one-to-one staff. So you have, if you have 20 kids, you have 20 spaces, they have 24 spaces in there. If you have office space. Well, I know, so I'm just, I think that
Yeah.
when we approved it, it didn't include the playground.
And again, I'm just talking about the playgrounds, they're all impervious surface. We don't have that type of design, and we're still trying to come up with that. If I can put that on the playground, you can say, okay, we're in the playground there. Now we do it. Oversight of that.
We have a vote.
I think this constitutes a site plan. I don't think this is a change of orders.
Okay, Joe.
It's definitely different than what you site planned for, but I don't know if anything changes necessarily as far as the building, the parking lot, the number of parking places. And the playground thing raises questions, and I know it's not going in the parking lot, but it's all part of the same piece of property, or is it
Well,
a
it's a
different
different piece of
property?
property that we've added to this property.
No, this is, now it's going to be one.
Yeah, but it's a
So
different,
this
it's
is the
not
single
where the
one.
approval was. So
Yeah.
it's not impacting the approval at all. So we're not asking for
Added to
it.
the amount of property.
But it's added to the amount of property. You've already done lot line adjustments and what have you. Yeah.
Basically what we have.
What are we thinking?
And if I can change the site plan in any way,
Yeah.
you would ask for a site plan. But you're not gonna do, it's like double jeopardy. I already came in, I already got all my site plans, I have my approvals, I have everything built specifically to that design.
But it's a larger lot now, it's not the same lot that we approved the plan on before.
Usually when the size of lot is concerned, we're talking about impervious surface. So now we're able to actually build a lot to make it bigger if we want to, or now we have more land. Because you're allowed to do certain lot coverage on
Percentage.
So I'm just saying that if you wanted to, you would come in and ask for more time. But we're not.
Existing conditions.
That's still.
It's more than $4, but the case doesn't be change of use.
Sorry, it's really hard to
When I
hear.
spoke to you, you said it was a clear case of a change of use. And it's the same site plan we're using.
Well, what I'll say is, what I recall saying is that because I'm not here full-time, that I thought it was appropriate to address it through a change of use review form. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna take a stance one way or the other. I think it's appropriate for the planning board to make this decision. Yeah.
It sounds like there's quite a bit of hesitation, so.
But I'm good with no change of use.
So you're gonna vote no on this, is that what you're saying?
No, I vote yes.
Vote
Good
yes,
to go.
okay. So you're good to go, you're no, and you
That's why it's nice and level, it's just gravel.
What I thought from reading through all of this file was that all of this restaurants were hooked up. And we just wanted to watch the streets. Your line from the internet, and that was the whole line. The big deal, I think.
I'm gonna go good to go. I think it's close. It's technically maybe, some technical problems, but, oh, yes. 3 votes, 4 yes, 1 no. 3 votes yes and 1 vote no
Yes.
for the change of use. From Mr.
Meaning that
Bernard.
he doesn't need to do site plan review?
Correct.
Okay, so
Yes.
site plan review is not required.
Yeah, sorry. I meant on this form.
You're good, John.
You're good,
Thanks. I
so.
would have just submitted the same form with that forward.
I get that. I'm just curious about that playground thing and how that works there.
Yeah, the playground, on a road.
The parking is built up exactly how we got it.
It's not
Right.
big enough for what
Yeah,
we're doing, but that's,
sure.
it's been voted on.
There's not a case,
Sorry.
so there's not a case.
Sorry.
John Bernard.
So,
They did the
sorry,
same.
no.
Sorry, guys, thank you for your
Yeah.
time.
Okay, Planning Board 19-05, continuation of the subdivision site plan review proposal from Midland General Contractors Incorporated to subdivide the existing lot into construct and operate a non-emergency walk-in urgent care clinic at 75 Laconia Road in the Regional Commercial District. I had a chance to look at it.
Chairman, can I just make one point, just so it doesn't get lost later on? I know folks are just receiving the report from Keach Nordstrom. As you may have noticed, this was noticed as a subdivision and site plan review case. And fortunately, that coincides with Keach Nordstrom's first comment, which is this, because it's a land lease and not just a lease of a, let's say, a stall at Tanger, this requires a subdivision approval. So fortunately, again, it's been noticed as a subdivision case, so proper notice has been extended, and if the board is so inclined, it would be appropriate tonight to make 2 motions, 1 to approve the subdivision and 2 to approve the site plan review. Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess I'll add one other thing, then I'll be quiet. I've had a chance to spend a little bit of time with this report, and I'd be happy to assist with translating these into conditions at any point if you'd like me to do that. Now I'll be quiet.
It's just a continuation, so he can just come out and present his additional materials.
I think with the subdivision being addressed, the rest of them could probably be addressed with plan review comments too. And resubmitted as an addendum to the plan. Everything seems to be minor, just plan notes as far as engineering, sewer, water, things like that.
Doing the best we can to look over all these points. We just got this. But,
You can get back and review that.
can you just tell us a little bit about what you found from last time we were concerned about that driveway? And we can read it, but we'll like to hear your words.
Okay, the driveway is on our property. It is on. So, per the third party, and this will be reflected on the site. It will be crushed on the signs.
Okay. Okay, yeah, and it's pretty long list here, so.
There's no sewer that comes up Route 3.
So. Just a minute. Would you want to, you said that you were gonna put these into conditions?
Yeah. Do you want me to make some recommendations right now?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna try and, I don't know how good this recording is. I might actually try and record myself as I do it. Just bear with me for a second if you don't mind.
So these prints were given to us.
Got another meeting
There's
going.
no way
Maybe
to
not.
install this.
I can't find it in 1 second. I'll move on.
Definitely in that.
So these would be conditions for the site plan review approval. I think approval of the subdivision would be as simply as approving with the condition that proper documentation and acknowledgement of the land lease shall be recorded with the registry of deeds. So that would be the only condition I would have for the subdivision.
Is it because we're 0.59 versus 1.0? Does that have a bearing? Do we have to have a bearing? I thought the minimum size was 1 acre.
No, I think just the same way condominiums require subdivision, yet they're allowed to be under that acreage. I think this would be the same.
Record ours as dimension on our plan.
Yeah, Steve Keach will help will help us make sure that process is done correctly. I spoke with him on the phone just briefly right before the meeting. So that's for the subdivision. Now I'll go.
Should we just vote on the
Sure,
subdivision
sure,
and then
yeah.
continue to make it less?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the subdivision for planning board case
19-05.
thank you, as stated by Dari.
Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Who seconded it? Did you get that?
Joe.
All right, she got it. Thank you. All right, so now, for the site plan review, all necessary local, state, and federal permits shall be obtained. Then maybe also add a specific written approval from the Tilton Northfield Aqueduct shall be obtained. The drawing entitled partial existing conditions plan be acknowledged in the drawing index, shall be acknowledged in the drawing index provided on the title sheet. This drawing shall be stamped by a licensed land surveyor. Sheets C1 through C4 of the site plan shall be stamped by a licensed professional engineer. So really, these are all just plan edits. They're not of much substance. Sheet C2.0 shall be expanded to specify finished grade spot elevations in sufficient number to properly communicate to design engineers expectations for grading of proposed construction. Sheet 2.0 shall be expanded to specify replacement R5-1 do not enter signs are to be installed per the approved 1997 site plan. Okay. Sewer Commission approval shall be obtained, and sewer shall be installed in accordance with that approval and with the recommendations contained in Keach Nordstrom's June 10th memorandum. And just so the board, specifically item 7 of Keach Nordstrom's June 10th, 2019 memorandum. And separate typical trench details applicable to water, gas, and underground electric utility installations shall be added to the site plan. That's it. That's everything from the memo that I got.
I would make a motion to accept the site plan.
Okay, so you're making a motion to accept with the conditions that Daria's listed. Do we have a second? Or second? Eric, Pyra seconds. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Hi.
Aye. Motion passes. Yeah, he's like, you sure?
For the sewer and the aqueduct, how will we do that? Can we just set some plan for that? And they can drop them off, or can we do that internally?
So sewer, I would contact the sewer. If you could, contact the departments directly. Would that be acceptable?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're working with different arrangement right now. But if that works for you, I think that would be the most efficient given your time constraints, probably getting you in direct contact with those folks. As far as any, where the separation between the two lines, I mean, if you guys can just provide on your own, maybe
Yeah,
I'll...
we'll update the documents and send them electronically, FedEx them off tomorrow. Now, what was the other approval for the aqueduct?
Yeah, and I called that out. I mean, really, I probably could have left it as part of the first condition, which was all necessary local, state, and federal. But there's a condition, in the memo, it's shown on the site plan. The proposed urgent care facility is to be served by public water. As such, we recommend confirmation of the Tilton Northfield Water District's ability and intent to provide potable water be received by your office prior to or as a condition of site plan approval.
So water and sewer.
Yeah.
Water and sewer, fire, codes. Your basic, you're gonna need all of these permits anyway.
Correct. So now, will this have any impact on, what is the timeline to get these conditions in place so we can get started? Or what's the approval process going to be for these updated documents? Just internally, we don't have to come back.
Plan's been approved.
Yep. You're
As
done
long
with
as you
that.
comply with the conditions that were stated, you're good to go.
That's true.
That's the sewer department.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's the one. Alright.
Those are gonna be more of these than 7-Elevens. They've got one in Belmont, they're building one across the street, I guess. And
Yeah, they're moving the one from the mall across, they're just moving from the mall across the street.
so now there's 2 within 4 miles?
Across the street is the hospitals, and 93.
You talking Belmont?
Alright. Planning Board 19-08, site plan review. Proposal from Mary Tyrrell to expand the existing antique and furniture store to include a new 1,920 square foot accessory structure to be used for the storage of additional merchandise at 545 Laconia Road, mixed use district.
Planning board case 1907.
It says, you're right. Okay, sorry, I skipped right over. Sorry about that. Backtrack
So where are we
to
going here?
Planning Board 19-07. So I, because in my head, we had done 2, that's why I skipped ahead. Site plan review. Proposal from Brianna Gardner and George Mansfield to operate a multi-use retail and service business to include hair care and massage, book sales, private and public events, and artistic lessons at 281 Main Street in the downtown district.
Well, these guys, stuff, and also.
And good evening. Accept the application. That has to go be done first.
That would be
It'll be, yeah, it's for the minutes and for the record. That'd be great. And if you need an extra one, share that, great. But right now, we're gonna just do this application.
will they tie in over my golf club? Yeah. Everything ties in that manhole? On that side of the berm. Talk to Franklin first to see that's their permit, if you don't, that's what's ours.
Okay, do you need a plan review then, or?
Much better than that.
I want to spoil it here. Yeah, that's fine, we'll have it on these roll calls. I'll bring something. Okay, thank you.
Everything signed by the landlord with their.
Part of the application, we did have to remove the first page and replace it with a sign.
It's signed by the landlord.
There it is, okay.
Do that.
Where's that?
Right on the front.
Front page.
I missed it.
Oh, look at that.
Owner? You haven't checked off proposed exterior lighting or signage, location type design. What about your signs?
Is a wooden sign, maybe this is intended inside the building, behind the window, so we see the street. Then we have a open, industrial sign, like a lot of places have open and closed. That's how it's used in the building. Yes, I know.
Okay, so I gotta ask. Tell me about the massage.
Wait a minute, that's site plan.
Oh, all right,
So just get to
We'll
this
get to
part.
that. I would make a motion to accept the application as substantially complete.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So, tell me about the massage.
It's top rate. It's the best massage you'll ever get.
Testimonial.
What for?
Licensed massage therapist located in a separate room by itself. This is not like in between the bookcases
Oh, it's
or,
definitely, I have a separated room that is designated for facial waxing, massage services.
okay, and,
I'm sorry.
and as a follow-up, this is a barber shop as well, right?
It is a barber shop. The combination of barber shop with offering more spa services is a very hot new business trend. They're taking things that you would normally see in a spa salon environment, only they're bringing into a barber shop and market it more towards a short hair male clientele.
But you say there's no chemicals
Right.
treatments at
As
this
of right
point.
now, I am not personally licensed to do any chemical treatments, so until I get master barber licensed, I won't be able to provide those services, so that would be something that if I wanted to provide, I would first have to get a whole entire different license, and then of course I would have to come back and put in another motion and make sure it's okay with the water and sewer. Also, this is something that's regulated by the state, and there is a provision from the state that you do have to check in with the water and sewer people before they will issue you a shop permit.
And are you licensed for massage?
I am licensed for massage, aesthetics, and barbering.
And so is it a rule that the massage license is, like with a hair salon, is visible, it's posted?
Everything is supposed to be in a conspicuous place. The shop license, all of my licenses are in a conspicuous place, and all that are provisions that are set forth by the state. Basically, everything is regulated by the state. Who can and can't work for you, fines, everything that, where things can be, all those things are regulated by the state.
I want to ask, is there a reason to combine books and barbering? Was there is that just accidental?
I feel like it's when you first walk into a barber shop, it's very typical to have magazines and reading materials available, as well as a seating area, and a bookshop also requires a nice comfortable place to sit and read books. So it almost seems natural that you would take that environment and just expand it into a retail space. There are lots of barber shops that do have a very extended retail space, and they will sell anything from clothing to sneakers to jewelry, which is something that I gave you guys submitted photographs for, are photographs of other barber shops, one local and two out of state. Actually, one of them is Ulta Beauty, which is nationwide. They're all over the nation.
They have
and they have salon services, but it's all the same equipment and the same idea basically.
But they don't also sell used books, or?
They don't sell used books. They sell makeup, they sell perfume, they sell beauty supplies, they sell curling irons, they sell everything.
Well, I understand it's pretty typical to have a barbershop selling products. I've never been in a hair salon that doesn't also sell products.
Well, as you see from the photographs, I also submitted a photograph where they have a full-on clothing retail shop within walking, a few steps distance from their barber chair, and that shop is located in New York City. And then I had also submitted a photograph, which is one of my friend's barber shops right out of Concord, which is the one with the big P on it, where they are selling clothing and sneakers.
Good, thank you.
So it's
square feet total is this? This isn't to scale, so we're really talking about yeah, that's
I did measure roughly 17 feet across by 46
George, speak into the mic.
Oh, yeah,
Here,
speak into the microphone.
Were you hearing me all right?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, I can just
You
get
can
anything.
move that thing too.
You can sit over here if you want.
I'm going like for the recording.
My drawing, I have footage, again, as I say, I didn't do it to scale. Some people would be very upset with me. Saw what I did. Again, the massage room is 44 inches by 141 inches. I didn't break it down into feet.
The massage room is approximately 12 by 12.
Okay.
Thank you.
Makes sense. And that is closed off with two entrances on either side of the room, which will be privatized. The community room is the very back. At this point, we are prepared to use that at this point. Eventually, we'll have a variety of activities that we mentioned. Then the back, there's a back door that's just basically a hallway with an entrance, exit to the building. The square bump out that I show you with the back door is actually the entrance to the cellar. And we don't have use of the cellar. The shampoo room is the one right next to the massage. That's what she's working on now, putting in the proper plumbing and so forth. That sink. The bathroom is not something we're doing for public use.
So, the community room, how many people do you think you might get in there at any one time for what, your dance lessons or?
After speaking with the gentleman at the fire station, he informed me a little bit about general rules of fire code, and he informed me that anything exceeding 50 people at a time would need extra licensure and to change the classification. So it will never exceed 50 people, but if you are looking for an actual more accurate estimate, I wouldn't believe that you would be able to fit more than 20 people max.
Because I'm not concerned about how many you might shoehorn into your room, so much as where are they going to park? Because all of a sudden, 50 people, 40 cars, 20 cars, 30 cars, depending on what time you intend to have these things, there won't be any place to park. Where would they park? Because the lots out back are residents, and some of it is town people, and there's
Is
park-
there a church very close to our property?
There is.
Where do they park?
Sunday morning they park out back. It's a Sunday morning thing, see? Which doesn't always, they have to park way down the street and walk when they're real busy, certainly, but Sunday morning. Friday nights, I don't know, is there so many parking places for?
Tell me what your hours of operation will be for each business.
We're planning on, I don't want to cut ourselves short, so what I would say is we plan on at least be open, at maximum, we're opening 6 days a week. I really don't think we're actually going to, but I would leave us open to 6 days a week.
And the two businesses would be open at the same time?
For the most part, it is a possibility that certain nights of the week I might stay for late haircuts.
But not massage?
Either or.
What hours are you looking at? Start till what time at?
It really depends on the night. I am thinking of extending into a few nights because after 5 o'clock is when everyone gets out of work. So if I can get a few hours after 5 o'clock and get a few appointments in, that would be very good for my business.
The concern is...
We do have upstairs neighbors with small children, so we are going to be very respectful of that. You know, nothing's going late into the night.
And how will you keep children in the community room from accessing the massage room where I assume, what kind of massage is it?
There's doors.
There's a door, and how will you keep the people getting a massage while they're changing and doors are opening and closing unless somebody's...
They get changed out in the same room that they get massaged in. They enter
But
the room,
then-
they disrobe, they get on the table, they receive their massage.
By-
If for any reason they need to leave the room, like for example to use the restroom, I have robes available for them just to literally walk the 2 steps to the restroom.
Okay.
Or if they choose to get all the way clothed again and go to the restroom, they may do that.
Well, so here's a scenario. So there's children in the community room. They go in, disrobe, and then...
Children will not be allowed in the community room without adult supervision.
Well, okay, say their mom is there, but they still get a peep show because doors opening while somebody's entering.
That might be implied, but that definitely is not something that's going to happen and that we are going to take care of.
How will you take care of it? That's what I'm
Because
wondering.
people will not be disrobed, it will be explained. Number one, when people generally use the restroom before the massage. So if they do have to get up and use the restroom during the massage, I shouldn't even say almost every, I've never not had someone ask because it's almost a formality because you're stopping your service that they say, oh, I have to use the restroom. And that's when it's my job to say, okay, I have a robe for you to slip into and some slippers. The bathroom's right over there, and then I would walk them to the bathroom.
Wait a minute, so I thought you said the bathroom wasn't gonna be for public use though?
Outside public use.
Oh, okay, but so everybody who's a patron can use the bathroom? And so you've got patrons?
I have thrown the idea around of creating a membership program, so members only could use it. But that's yet to be determined. Fire code enforcement? I have not spoken to Abby yet.
And the fire, so that you have talked to the fire department,
I have spoken with them, yes.
but they there's an inspection, right?
There will be an inspection. If there hasn't been already, there would be. They haven't yet. I'm sure they will.
That would be one of the conditions.
That'll limit any occupancy numbers
Yeah,
based on square footage.
just saying about 50 people. So, okay.
I make a motion to approve case number 19-07. Yes, absolutely. Well, let me start with mine, with the following conditions. That you have to get the inspections from the fire, code enforcement, and the health department. You have to comply with all state regulations concerning your business and all town ordinances stated or unstated right here, right now. And there's like lots of them. Most of them won't apply to you, but one that specifically does is 3-5, except, well, I won't read that part, but the code enforcement officer will require verification that existing public parking will provide adequate parking accommodations. So your room, how many people you could get in, I mean, it might be limited to 20 as opposed to 50, or even 15. Code enforcement would be the one. And then if you disagreed, there's a process you could follow, going from that. But let me see. water, sewer. That's it for mine. The signage. But they said there's no outside signs.
Can I ask a quick question? When you say health department, what does that mean?
That means Catherine Dawson will come down and make sure that the heat is on and the water is running and you are
I
compliant.
don't know that she is,
I'm actually
yeah.
agreeing that I'm not against that, but I'm just making you guys aware that the state of New Hampshire, when they come to inspect the barber shops, that is what they inspect.
Good
Okay,
enough.
that's fine too.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I could be wrong, but I think I have talked to Catherine about, in general, these types of, she did defer to the state, but
If Catherine says she's okay,
I
I'm
don't know.
okay.
I don't know what else there could be, yeah. I have a safety issue, these are about having children with people adults in robes and nothing more, just walking around. I don't know how to protect them from that.
I feel like you're painting a picture like people are just walking around the shop in their robes, and I don't think that that is what is going on. They are in their designated room. Let me tell you, number one, when people pay for a massage, they don't want to leave the room until the end, you know. If they do, it's because they have to relieve themselves. So the only place that they would be walking around the shop would be to the bathroom, which is directly adjacent to the massage room, and is also, you can't see it from the community room. So,
I know it wouldn't be an average thing, but, you know, we'll be the ones that they will say, why did you approve this? Mixed use of adults who are in various states of dress.
have children in a spa environment is actually really not uncommon.
Did you just want to say something, Judy?
I don't know that that's our purview.
Well, safety is our purview, so it is our purview. Safety is our purview. It is one of the conditions of approving a site plan. It is in the regulation that that is one of the things we have to look for. And even though it's not a usual thing, you know, I just don't know that it fits in with the.
There's no segregation for age in any spa that I've ever heard of. There are oftentimes children inside of a spa with a very similar environment, even a more open environment.
How so?
I've worked for places where people are in robes sitting, getting pedicures, and in the waiting area, and it's just, they're
With
no,
no clothes on underneath?
you're saying no clothes, but they aren't, they're clothed, they have their robes on.
Yeah, just a little though.
I feel like for someone who
I mean, I'm fine.
is in this position, then that seems odd to you, but you have to understand the spa environment is what we're giving people. And children are in the spa often. I've often seen children in the pedicure room, and sometimes the
Yeah.
children put on robes.
Yeah, pedicures, facials. There's a difference in my mind between a chair massage, pedicures, facials, certain types of waxing where you're partially dressed.
But children are not going to be in the room during that time.
Right, but there will be traffic in and out, possibly.
No, there's no traffic in and if someone is in the room with me, no one is entering that room. I cannot lock the door because there's actually laws against having locks on the doors because it's an entrapment thing. This is just part of the industry that I'm trying to educate a little bit about
No,
right now.
I appreciate it.
You
Thank
cannot put locks on the doors because it's an entrapment issue. But basically, when the therapist is in the room, the therapist is in control. You invite the person into the room, you give them instructions on what to do, they do that. There is no, barring someone jumping off my table unannounced and running out of the room like a crazy flasher, I really don't think anything like that is going to
Okay,
happen.
a child, if the door is unlocked, could open the door, correct?
None of the children will be unsupervised.
Now it came in late. Yes, the community room, you're looking at like dances and events.
Yeah, the children are not going to be in the community room unless there's a child's event going on.
Please let Chairman Judy, please let our questions be asked.
So the question is, I would assume that's more of a nighttime thing, if it's a community room, is it possible to say, okay, massage is on?
That's exactly, it would get loud in the community room and it would make it an unfavorable environment to do a massage in because you usually need a more quiet space. So it probably more than likely would be one or the other.
I think, I was just gonna say what she just said, where if you have an event in the community room, it's not gonna create the environment to go what Ms. Boley is saying about, you know, you can have a little kid at a fast food restaurant, taking them to the bathroom and they walk into the wrong restroom and they're gonna see something, there's a possibility they're gonna see something. We don't shut down that restaurant. I don't see it in that environment being an issue. They control it, it's a closed room. The bathroom, based on the drawing, it's not like they have to go across. I think you're just a little bit making a mountain out of a molehill. I don't think it's an issue. I think you're gonna have more likely to see something walking down the street of a store somewhere that is, I mean, you see it today.
Thank you.
I understand your concerns, but honestly, my profession, even though I love it, is a profession that's oftentimes vilified by people who do not understand the profession.
Excuse me, I'm not vilifying your profession. I am site planning for safety, and that is my job. That is all.
Yeah, in the pictures, the networks are going to be in the same room as the general people.
So just outside the shampoo room, more or less, kind of, sort of, right? Yeah. One chair, two chairs.
I might add another chair. There's room there for another chair.
So we still have a motion?
Oh,
We're
yes.
building a motion.
Yeah, let's get this motion.
I think we need to narrow it down.
Yeah, you need to.
Well, mine was very specific, and then we traveled into massage and ropes, which is not a condition of the site plan. So this is, we're still doing conditions.
All right, so there's, you were with all state and local.
All state and
Permits.
local
Yep.
rules, regulations, and ordinances.
I am Juliet Hardy, Chair.
Well, sewer and water. Yep.
Did you get the fire department inspection?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, specifically out Judare.
Yeah, the fire district.
Well, I'm just trying to add some
Yeah.
specific people that go into it.
Yeah.
That doesn't need to be part of the motion.
No. That's something they have to do to open up.
I second that.
Okay, so
Okay, further
progressing
discussion.
nicely.
Further discussion. All those in favor?
Yes.
I abstain.
approved. Yep. Three for one extension.
Okay.
I think you're real bold, and Mr. Mansfield's had bookshops downtown in the past, and he's a good downtown guy, so I hope you're a big success.
I do too. I think I'm glad something's going in there. Yeah, the unique conditions.
I believe you'd have to get a certificate of occupancy from the fire department above all things.
Yeah, and if you hustled it up end of the week, next week, probably.
Well, can't really say.
No, I said if they hustle up and
But
get
it's not-
lucky,
it's a long-
but I can't tell you for an
Yeah, we
absolute
can't say,
fact.
it's not, we don't have control over
There you go. Sheena will work with you to shepherd you through the process and talk to this person and that person. You bet.
The water company started July 1.
Basically what happens is, the thing that's really holding me back is I'm finishing up my sink install, the plumbers are coming on the 17th. As soon as the plumbers get in, I have to build out over the pipes to make sure that the pipes are safe and no one can touch the pipes, because that's a big deal. And then as soon as that sinks in, I can call the New Hampshire State Board of Barbering Cosmetology, Aesthetics and Massage, and they set up a date for someone going out and inspect.
So you've got to wait on those things anyway, right? It's going to be a little bit.
Yeah, he might be ready a little bit to go more than me,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm doing.
My portion of the poster would be coming in. All one
So they're still gonna bar for me to get my license, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you could set all your stuff up and be ready.
Oh, he's been chomping.
You're already
Well,
doing
He
that.
didn't wanna move 100 boxes of books all at once.
We're gonna get to that. Thank you, though. Okay, we've got Planning Board 19-08, Site Plan Review. They've been patiently waiting. Proposal from Mary Tyrrell to expand the existing antique and furniture store to include a new 1,920 square foot accessory structure to be used for the storage and additional merchandise at 545 Laconia Road in the mixed-use district. Process is we look through the application, we approve it, and then go further. We'll ask you to speak after that.
Yeah, I've got it when I get stuff together. residential. This one here.
Oh. Oh, did you put that on? Thank you. Did you get that? There's a lot there.
Make a motion to accept site plan or the
1908?
application is substantially complete. Planning board case 19-08.
Have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Tell us a little bit about it, your project. You can use the microphone, that would be great.
Is that microphone? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I could barely hear you,
You
I'm sorry.
can, just, yeah. There you go. Thanks, sorry about that. It's, it should probably be turned out by now.
So it's a 32 by 60 building used for storage for our bigger furniture. And it's going to be just a seasonal business, so it wouldn't be open in the winter time, which is not now either. So, but we have all our big furniture in different locations, and we'd like to put it in one location.
Okay. Sounds pretty straightforward.
We bought the property a couple of years ago, and it was one of the worst eyesights on the highway. I spent a lot of time and money and labor to make it what it appears as today. Unfortunately, I've been ill, quite ill. We're trying to get everything together in case something happens to me. My wife will be able to carry it on. The building will be designed somewhat building.
So you're not going to be open in the winter, so there's no issue with a plowed parking lot, correct? It's for the use for the sale of furniture. Is that also correct? Antiques and furniture.
Fine antiques.
It's not a car lot now, right?
I got a car lot.
I know you do, but some of those cars are antiques, and I don't want to get slicked here. This is not a car lot. You're not asking for that. All right, okay.
I've been doing this for 50 years. 50 years.
I don't know you. It only behooves me to ask.
Okay.
All right.
Valid question. Some cars are antiques.
Cars could be antique. There was some, in the past, there was some issue with the fire and stone guy next door and the signage. Correct? Now, how do you propose to rectify that? Don't leave it the way it is? You want to make a big one? You want to put it in a different place? What do you want to do?
What his sign? Mine is a $42,000 sign.
Price doesn't make any difference to me.
But it's right on my property. He's blocking my sign that's been there. The post on there has been there forever.
Yeah, I'm just a guy talking here, but if you guys went and had coffee somewhere, maybe we could put both your signs on one post. Just saying. But that's just me talking as a guy.
Then it would be off-premise signage.
Yeah.
I've tried.
Damned if you do and damned if you don't. But yeah, but how are you going to solve this? Are you just going to stay with the sign you got?
No.
Okay, what are you going to do?
Just gonna put- That sign was supposed to be a temporary sign anyway to let people know that it's what we're going to do. But then I got the place question and thought that, with a 30-foot cliff line, what is a Bible, I do have 40 feet problems. So I wasn't physically able to continue doing that.
It's right behind you.
Yes.
Thank you.
For once in my life, I'm not going to build a house.
So if his sign is on your property, that's a civil matter, because we would have never given him permission to erect a sign on your property. I mean, that's,
Right on the line.
Right on the line. No setback whatsoever.
that sounds like a matter for Al LaPlante and code enforcement. Okay, well, all right, okay.
My concern about this building is the water sheeting off the roof. And where's the water gonna go? Is it gonna flow onto the adjacent property? Either to the back or to the west side of the property? Where's that water gonna go that's coming off? Because you have almost 2,000 square feet of impervious surface, so that water has to go somewhere.
So right now, Firestone plows their snow up onto that portion of the road, so they continue to plow even his driveway up onto the portion where the road is going to go. Because he's seasonal, they just use it for parking, tractor trailers. Of that grass area that's behind there, I think there's 42 feet. It's a little over 42 feet that's there now. We're gonna take up 17 feet of that grass. We're not changing any way of the water, the snow, anything that's there now. It sits now, it's gonna be on the roof, it's gonna go.
Well, it's gonna create a large amount of water, but I'm assuming that there's gonna be some type of concrete slab here. So you're gonna change a little bit of the grade by excavating to put that slab.
It's about 18 inches, so we're gonna cut into the grass 18 inches, and then bottom layer, which is gonna do the same. And
Well, what I'm worried about is we get a heavy rainstorm, summer rainstorm, all that water's gonna come off your roof. Where's it gonna go? Is it gonna flood out? this next door business?
No. The easy question, the easy answer is no. Right now, it's a parking lot that slopes either out Route 3 or
But that water's gotta get there somehow. I guess I don't see any water flow on here, so I'm just a little
the parking
concerned.
lot's gonna remain the parking lot, so half of the roof that's okay, it's not another parking lot that's there.
Well, he's got two buildings on his property.
We're not talking about
I'm talking about your property, sir, where you have, you're creating a sheeting effect off that roof. Where's that water gonna go?
so. Large roads here that continues all the way down to Church. There's also a water level there.
Right, but
The water table there is 186 feet below the surface.
I understand, but again, I don't know if I'm not getting
I know
it.
what you're saying, we're gonna shed water.
You're gonna shed water off that
Where's
roof.
it going?
Where's it going?
Well,
Is it going into a gown, are you gonna dig a French drain and hopefully it goes and pipe it out, so it drains somewhere? Or is it gonna sheet off that roof, cascade down to the dripstone edge, I'm assuming, of some sort? And is that gonna create a channel of water that goes to your adjacent neighbor's property? Or is that water gonna sheet off and does that slope to the back property line?
it's gonna swing over the back property line on this property, the neighbor that's behind it, that's all grass as well. And, part of that guy's parking lot is on his property as well. So, we're not gonna be placing water in there that is not, funnels of water, obviously no swale, crushed along the leaves, or slash there. The job, fire, stairs, there's exactly as well.
No, I know that, but it's, I guess, like, the street I live on, whenever it rains, the water comes all the way down the road, and the last guy in the neighborhood, guess what? He gets all this water and he gets it in his basement, No, I know that, but we have an opportunity to prevent this, and I wanna make sure, we have an obligation to make sure that we're not changing where that water's going. I mean, is it I thought this picture up here was, it was like a arch type, like a garage, you see one of those, yeah, like a carport type thing, or is this a flat roof sloped?
It's a 7-inch roof. I think the plan's about 6 or 7-inch roof. 7 inches every foot.
Okay.
That's how much it raises. So if the walls are 10 feet, it's going to max out at 16 feet.
Yep.
So it's going to be 16 feet high. At 16 feet.
I might add that no part of the building is gonna be on the lot line. It's gonna be grass all around it.
I know, but when you, right now that water all goes in evenly, now you're taking a concentrated amount of water, and that water is gonna increase the flow. And so I guess I'm concerned about that.
Anything else?
So currently where the building is going is grass.
A portion of it, half of it is in the grass and half of it is on the beach.
So now what percent of your property is no longer this impervious surfaces?
I'd say 16 feet apart. And 17 feet of grass.
Right, so you haven't done out the percentage. But that's part
But you're
of it.
almost halfway, so.
But that's part of the site plan.
Remember seeing any of those?
taking from one.
Right, so they're actually going to remove some of the pavement from a section of the lot. They're actually going to now create a pervious surface where there was impervious surface. So just done a little bit of swabbing percentages of lot coverage.
But what is the percentage?
Yeah, it should be,
Right, and
1%. Somebody probably already
they're
did
taking
that.
out some of the parking lot to do that, those parking spaces that would have taken up. Because we don't have a
Oh,
parking
here's,
plan
wait a
on
minute.
it.
There's a grading and drainage notes, but I can't read it. Maybe if I use my magnifying glass, my magnifier.
There's 2 or 3 cars in house.
Okay. Okay, so.
So it's covering the law.
But you just told us we're taking out parking. So we need to make sure the parking needs are parking roads, but we don't have parking in highway.
I don't think there's any parking spaces on the building that's there now. It's just a paved lot. The paved lot is 75 by 90.
It's an antique shop, it's something that get a lot of customers.
It's actually 40 feet, it's 90 feet today.
Do we know how many square feet the current building is? Of floor space? And are customers going to be able to go into this building? Are customers going to be able to go into this new building?
As we sell stuff out of the store, we bring it in from the store.
So according to this, that whole building is 1160 square feet.
Impervious surface.
So, just doing some rough calculations, if that additional building is considered floor space, and you take the floor space for the other building, you're gonna need 11 spaces, 12 to include employee. So I guess the board has to decide, is that considered floor space, or is that just considered storage space?
It's claiming that it's storage space.
Well, I guess we have to make sure that the customers you can't go in there and walk through there to look at the selection of furniture that they have.
Ask them.
Yeah.
So for right now, they have, they're storing stuff, Milford, Belmont, all narrative, and this now is all their houses. They will consolidate all of that stuff and put it over in storage. So as things need to be replenished out of the store, or as they gain more space in the store that they sell, then they're taking stuff from the storage, put it into the sales for the building. But this is not anticipated for customers to be walking in and out from the truck for that. There's no heat, there's no plumbing. There's minor, what's going on there, it's basically the track lane, source lane. So,
Does everybody have, this one here, is it's all attached? I'm trying to look for the impervious pavement. Maybe it's on here. It should be under, they've got grading and drainage notes. I was hoping it was in there. Oh. So we don't even have it for that route.
From your application, you put, will surface water be collected or redirected, and you certainly redirected, yes. So how is water?
So I think what he thought that meant is, right now, if it snows, it's coming straight down, is it gonna be redirected? Yeah, it's gonna be redirected. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, that's all, it was a very basic question.
So I think that's another question there, is it's not gonna be a flat roof, so it's gonna sit there, it's gonna be redirected.
Understandable.
Where's your dumpster going? You gotta put your trash in.
Yeah, don't they? They have, it's part of that.
Three.
It's not free.
Town service.
But it has to go in a can anyway. They have an automated truck that comes there.
It's not like they're uncreating things, they have crates where they gotta be able to throw the crates out, it's just plastic. Items.
You're eligible for trash pickup. Right, they would issue you a can.
Yeah. You don't have to take it home with you.
Of course, we have a dumpster at the auto place.
How far is that new building from the road, Church Street? 30 feet, 20 feet?
This street, there's the 20-foot setbacks.
Yeah.
So,
Does this,
there's gonna be a minimum of 20 feet from the property line to the max, I think it's gonna be. Because I thought it was 25 feet.
it says in here, so.
I'm a little concerned if they're gonna be, how close they're gonna be to the 50%.
Close to what?
The 50% impervious surface. Mixed use. Maximum lot coverage 50%. also the drawings of what they're gonna take out from the current existing paved surface. But you still replace it with impervious.
Find anything, Judy? Yes, please do.
So
what does everybody think? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's really necessary. The only other thing is the impervious surface question. How to, you can eyeball it and say it's close, but it's not, if you're eyeballing it, it's necessarily over.
So what's the, yes, what's there? Yeah, we were 75 feet wide is what's staying. By 90 feet, and the 90-foot mark is on the west side of the old building. So there's still more that takes you over to Church Street, and you still take that measurement. But by the looks of this, it's all of what there's over is now. And that's, it's 24 feet. So that's what the setback is. You know what I mean?
Right, I'm just not sure that figure out exactly what's covered, and then make sure you're not over 100%
Right.
coverage.
I don't think we're anywhere near 50%.
You have to count the parking lot as part of the lot coverage.
So this is the only parking lot now, right here. This is all blacktop.
Coverage
It's because
covers
of
the
rain.
ground.
What they're concerned about is,
There's that water gonna shed.
right.
So
That's not
where
like
this
the
is
highway.
at.
Right to where it shed to for the last 50 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
We're not changing.
It's
any
not
of
going,
that.
any
Right.
place different.
Right, it's not going
True.
any place that it
It
hasn't
isn't
gone
going any
before. In
place.
fact, it's gonna, in my opinion, it's gonna get better, because now you don't have fire and snow. Dump trucking a boatload of snow in this grassy area, so as it starts to melt, now it's all in the grass area, it's all going either out back or towards Church Street now, because it's gonna be evenly placed and not dispersed.
Right.
It's gonna make it more even.
So there's really no danger of, what you're worried about is sheeting off into the highway and when it's icy and it's cold, it's gonna
It's not gonna
cause
change.
a
What we're
ice
doing
wall.
is you're gonna change anything
But
that's
it won't,
already there.
it won't change it effectively, so.
Just based on the measurements he gave us, he said something was 75 by 90, which I believe he said was the paved area.
75 by 90 is from the fire and stone sign or from the Fonzie's antique sign
Right.
over to the west edge of the building that's existing now.
Okay.
On the east side and west side.
And then if you take, you said earlier that it was about 1,100 square feet on the existing building. The new building is going to be 1,920 square feet. If I read this correctly, it looks like the lot is approximately 21,000 square feet. You are, and not including this area that says no change, which I believe is paved, and I don't know how big that is, but,
It is big.
okay, but you're based on those calculations, you're 9,770 square feet. If this says 21,000 square feet, that's 10,500 feet. You're within 1,000 feet of being max, and that's not included in this area that says no change. And I don't know how many, I don't know how big that is.
It's the size of the store, so we have the next page. I know that's the right there. So, looking at what that is now, the frontage on the front of the store shows 23 feet and another 8 feet, so that's 31 feet. So where it's 90, it's another 31 feet. And then the depth of the building itself,
well, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, was going 1,100 square feet, because we're.
We can shrink, so the logistics of it all is we can shrink down the size of this new building if we needed to. Monetarily, 32 feet, it's 4 sheets, 8 times 4 is 32. So if we shrink it down, it'll increase the number, increase the time. So, but if that's what needs to happen, to maintain the impervious percentage, that's what needs to happen.
I want you to be able to have the maximum space, but I also have to watch the requirements that say you can't cover more than 50% of that land, which based on this plan is 21,000 square feet. If I'm reading this number, it's hard to read. I'm not, and I'm guessing at that we're at 21,000 square feet. We can't have over 10,500 square feet of impervious surface, including the buildings and the pavement.
According to the tax, she has there, it's
So
I'd remedy would be to put grass in front of the building.
well, it does, because if you're adding grass surface, which we don't know, it's, well, yeah, but that's going to reduce it. But I guess I would be more comfortable if we had someone, you know, if we had actual measurements and things like that, because we're teetering on it, and I'm doing rough numbers, and I could be way off. I'm just doing rough. I'm just a simple guy looking at a calculator on my phone. So,
should we have that here?
but we're not going to have the impervious surface necessarily.
Yeah. We do have that.
I would have my computer, but I can't bring that to meetings anymore.
It's on the tax card. But, I think it's,
Quite
no, what do
frankly,
you wanna do?
I don't think I can vote yes until I know about the lot coverage. Simply because we're bound by ordinances and regulations. It's never been a problem. I don't think it's gonna be a problem until I approve something that I shouldn't approve because it would be contrary to the ordinances. So if we can find out and get an exact number, and hey, if I do that right now, I'd be good to go.
I mean,
Well, we'll just leave the tax, we'll just access the tax. Can you
yeah,
access,
you
Sheena, access
can
the
get
tax
on
card?
there now.
They have no tax code. There's no
We have this
tax
plan
code.
here.
They've got some.
I failed math in high school, just to let you know, so. No, I never had.
I'm all about that, but this looks like a bunch of ants and nothing around it. I can't see this. I can see it, I just can't read it.
How many square feet is an acre?
How's that?
I didn't use Google. I should know this, but I don't.
There are 43,560 square feet in an acre.
So, I need to take off my shoes and my socks. So I can feel. We're in worse shape, I think. You said 0.46 acres? So I subtract. That's what I got. Which is worse, because I was going based on 21.
But you say the coverage is
Now we're-
96.
What's that? Well, I was 9,770,
So that means that he's,
but that was job
under
space.
short.
Under.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But that's using estimated numbers. I mean,
Well, unless you get a surveyor right there.
well, that's not my obligation. That's the.
Look at that.
That was, that's.
It's been surveyed.
Well, no, I'm sure that there's a lot to survey, but in order to get an exact amount and percentage of lot coverage, if our figures say it's 9,600, it's 9,600, right?
9,770.
9,070.
9,770.
I live over in that neighborhood. That lot has never been an issue as far as drainage or water in the road or water back in Boone's place or any of those things.
Okay, so is that a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept planning board 1908 with the following conditions. State and local ordinances, water and sewer, fire, code enforcement. I have a question about, you said something about striping the parking lot. It's never been striped in my experience. Is that something that we do? I mean, you have to stripe your lot?
Well, I don't know if we have to, but you have to have a designated space. Parking spaces, according to regulations, are 19 feet by 9 feet. And then you also have to have, if you have under 25 spaces, you're supposed to have an ADA compliant space, which would indicate striping the lot.
Well, the ADA one would, he doesn't have 25 spaces.
No, but it's less than 25 spaces. You have to have one designated spot per 25 spaces. So up to 25 spaces, he has to have one ADA compliant space, plus that space has to have basically another space next to it because it has to have the ramp markings on it. And
That's on the old building, not that that's now. So would that be grandfathered in because it's never been done before? And we're not changing that?
well, you are changing it. You're upgrading the lot by building an additional building on it.
Yeah.
But is it, I guess it has
It's
to,
just not straight. It's
Yeah,
got the, it's got the placard on the building.
It's got the sign, so it's.
Right, but that's, if
designated.
someone, if I'm in a rush and I park too close to that sign, and there's someone that parks on the other side of me on that sign, is it gonna be compliant?
But
That's-
is that in
If
our
you want a technical
regulations?
answer, if it's not treated on the ground and at high level, it's not.
That's a ADA,
Yeah, but is that a town ordinance?
well, they have to follow ADA.
But that's not,
ADA
that's not
requires.
something, yeah, they have to follow it, all federal laws, regardless of what we say, but it's not specifically how in our ordinance. It just says will conform, so we can stipulate that it will conform to ADA laws.
I mean, according to the ordinance right now, we need to have 3.6 spaces, and then we have one employee, which is themselves, for designated one space for each. So they need 4.6 spaces.
So 5 and an ADA?
5 and 1 employee space.
It does not say anything in here about striping.
Okay.
No.
Maybe it should, but it doesn't.
It should, maybe, it should, but it's not now.
And so that would be a condition of approval as well, strike them out. Do the right thing going forward.
Although it's not in, I just want to note that it does not say in our parking regulations that it has to be striped.
We were asking adults to strike that out.
Virtually every case I've ever sat on, there was striping of the lot, but it was shown on the plan.
You can walk out the municipal lot.
Well, we do sort of.
We're just trying to get out.
I understand.
Trying to help you. Yeah, I'm just pointing it out. So, I mean, if we could still make it a conditional. I just wanted to note that not.
You know, striking. I'm not the striking.
I just didn't want to go so far into the weeds of how exactly,
Gotta have an ADA space.
they have
It has
one.
to be designated.
It is designated.
Is that going to cover you for the American with Disabilities Act, that little sign?
That's up to them possibly to.
It has to be painted on the
Okay.
ground for the ADA thing.
All right, so then that's striping.
That is it.
Okay.
Just right back to where I was. Striping.
Well, okay. So striping, what else do we have? Lost track here on this
Fire.
motion. Fire codes,
Talk to
state,
the,
local
water
codes.
company, Lockman Village District. I know you guys are a member of the water district over there, the sewer. Code enforcement. Well, code enforcement will have to come out and give you a COA.
Okay.
That's all I can think of right on me.
All right, so that's your motion. Do I have a second? I will second it. Discussion?
I'm just not comfortable being that close. We're towing the line. I have concerns about the water storage, the water sheeting off the building. We don't have we just, I believe we recently made someone, submit with setbacks and all these other things. Maybe I'm thinking of zoning board, but when we made them, for having a plan with, we don't have the true setbacks where the building's gonna be. We don't know exactly how much.
It says 20 feet.
Okay, but there's not an engineered plan. It's not to scale, I guess, is the.
Okay.
You know,
Motion.
I own millions of dollars worth of commercial property. not only up here, but in Massachusetts. I just bought a farm on Sanborn Road for 22 acres, and I restored that. I'm trying to come into town. I've taken that eyesore and made it something nice. If you've ever been in the shop, it's quality. It's not a yard sale thing. There's no junk in there. I've built 22,000 square foot buildings and not gone through all this. It seems quite piddly for it just to be able to store.
Sir, when you bought those buildings, did you make sure you had the plans that showed you where your property was and how things were drawn out, or did you just take a drawing on a napkin that said, this is the property and this is what you're going to buy?
Judy?
It's only-
All right. We have a motion. Let's take a vote. Aye.
Aye.
Judy?
Okay,
Oh,
so,
I'm sorry. I'm tired.
I will abstain.
Okay, you're abstaining,
No.
so
my
Jude fails.
understanding is abstain means that, you're no vote, correct?
No, an abstain was an abstain. Did you question her at the last case when she said she abstained?
Right, so that the motion fails because it didn't pass. So,
What,
we
what
can-
more do you guys require to move it along? Because otherwise the guy has got his piece of property and he can't use it. So there has to be some kind of a
yes,
requirement.
right. We're gonna have to.
I think if we ask to continue the case and come back with a plan that is showing us more detail on the impervious surface, setbacks. I mean, that's,
All right, well, then we'd have to make a motion to that effect at this point.
well, we can make a motion to continue, but this is what they need. That's not a motion.
Yeah.
We don't need a motion for that, but I think that
No.
something has to be a little bit more concrete in that, what they submitted, I get that, but, they're adding grass, or they're taking away pavement, is there gonna be enough? I don't have an issue with there's enough parking, but I think there will be, but I just want to be certain, because we're very close up to that 50%. And I don't want the Board of Selectmen coming back and challenging our decision.
Okay, all right, so it looks like the case will be continued.
Make a motion to continue, planning board case 1908. How long? I don't have a calendar.
Well, we need to,
June 25th, I think. 2 weeks. Our next meeting is in 2 weeks, June 25th.
So is there something else aside from that?
leave them off.
Yeah, but if they're coming back, if you wouldn't abstain if they had, they don't say no. Well, there you go. And you said something about the senior center. Oh.
All right, so making a motion to continue site plan, planning board 19-08 until June 25th. You made the
I made the
motion.
motion.
I'll second it.
Eric
Sorry.
Seconded?
I'm sleeping over here, sorry.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain? And one abstention.
So something more detailed about the lot coverage. Setbacks. Currently, 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you, have a good night. Sorry. All right. Correspondence? You don't have anything, right, Sheena? Okay.
No minutes.
No. the minutes aren't on. Other business?
Motion to,
Just one quick question. Who's interested in working on the master plan, updating the master plan?
I'm getting,
Piece by
Catherine's
piece.
putting all her stuff together.
I talked to Catherine, she's interested.
What's that?
At the work session
I think on a work session.
work session, okay?
I mean, you can't do it in one, it's a huge.
No, that's gonna be a number. We worked on the master plan years ago and it was
It's a lot of work.
a lot of work.
But that is actually one of our requirements.
No, I know. I'm not to them.
I mean, it's not like I want more work, but it is.
And this is definitely our group.
And we do have to work on ordinances too. I mean,
Yeah.
we do have to work on that. So probably maybe think about what priorities, ordinances or master plan or both. I mean, maybe parallel, that's the problem. Both important, so they're both important, but
Seems like we've got a lot of cases coming up the last few weeks. I don't know how it's gonna be going forward, but
Well, excuse me, I think in August we have, is it July and August, we only have one meeting each month?
one of those, yeah.
So I believe, I was just thinking if we maybe take the second meetings in July and August, if we actually have a meeting and make them workshop meetings, I think that would be, I have no vacation plans, I can't speak for anyone else. Just keep them on Tuesday nights, it keeps my life easier. But if we had those as workshop meetings, I think that would be at least a start. I don't know if, you can't do master plan in 2 meetings, but.
It's really hard.
And I don't know, is master plan take a year? Yeah, it's
well, we've got a framework, but we have to go through it line by
it's like,
line.
when was the last update, 2008?
8.
No. It's very, but I did take a workshop on how to do meetings better and how to effectively go through meetings better, and more effective, just to get stuff done. And so I'm hoping to do some of that so that we can kind of be more organized and get. Anyway, okay, so just give it, like, right, your priorities, some thoughts, and then maybe next time we can work on what your priorities are. As far as business. It looks like she's raring to go. Does anyone have anything else? No?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we're adjourned.
I'd be back. So senior center, 8:38.
What was the,
Oh, okay.